studied in the previous class. So in the previous class, we had taken up for discussion. Of course, we are still under the topic Parliament, and we had taken up for discussion the budget. We were discussing about how the budget is passed, including the demand for grants, the appropriation bill, the finance bill, which contains revenue proposals, and we also saw the very important element of those budgetary terms, including things like vote in account, right? Things like supplementary grant, additional grant, excess grant, etc. Now, post that, we saw how the Rajya Sabha, how the Lok Sabha has, both these houses have special powers which the other houses do not have. And beyond that, a small topic, parliamentary privilege, etc. Once we are done, we moved on to understand the anti-defection law, that is the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution, which contains provisions pertaining to anti-defection law. And in that class, we saw how people are disqualified. So just to recap, all the people or the legislators who belong to a political party, right, they are disqualified the moment they resign from their party. All those people who are independent members, people who don't belong to a political party, they contest elections on their own and win the election. Now, these people can vote anywhere, but they are not allowed to join any party formally. And finally, finally, when it comes to the nominated people, those MPs or MLCs, MLAs who are nominated, now these people may join any party within the first 6 months. But post those 6 months, you are not allowed to join a party. And if you have joined a party, you can't leave the party. So these were the provisions of disqualification. And I also mentioned that when it comes to the deciding authority for such issues is the presiding officer of the House. That means the Lok Sabha Speaker or the chairman in the Rajya Sabha, and the same goes for the states as well. Now we'll today take up for discussion the remaining provisions, including exceptions, and I'll also explain some issues and concerns pertaining to the anti-defection law. And beyond that, then we'll discuss parliamentary committees. If time allows us, we'll enter into the topic state executive, while we'll discuss the topic governor. Okay, so that is the agenda for the day. Okay, but before that, let's discuss the 5 questions for the day. Right, so already all set, 5 questions, starting with the first question. You know very well the time, 45 seconds. Mark your answer. Correct. Department is responsible for the preparation of the budget. Department of Economic Affairs. So clearly, we have had 0 revision over the weekend. Passing of an appropriation bill completes the budget. On the slide, it was mentioned, once the finance bill is passed and the assent of the president is given, the budgetary exercise is over. Not the appropriation bill, but the finance bill. This is also wrong. And the term budget used in the term budget has not been used in the Constitution. Right? The article was correct, but the term budget is not mentioned. The annual financial statement is the correct term mentioned. So 3 is also wrong. All 3 are wrong. How many are correct? None of the statements mentioned here stands correct. So the right answer was D. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Been sitting? No, the budget is read in the Lok Sabha, right? Presented in the Lok Sabha, and the copy is sent to Rajya Sabha. So one is wrong, of course. cut motions can be raised only in the Lok Sabha. That is actually correct. Cut motions can be raised only in the Lok Sabha. So 2 is right. The speaker can put demands for grant to vote irrespective of whether they have been discussed or not. Guillotine closure. The entire debate is cut short. The matter is put to vote. Right? So, of course, 3 is also correct. How many are correct? 2 statements are correct. Everything explained, mentioned in the class, so nothing unique, no surprises here. Moving on to the next question. He may be allowed to sit, speak in both the houses, take part in a committee of both the houses, but cannot vote in the other house because voting comes through membership. So, of course, he will be allowed to vote is wrong. He cannot be allowed to vote in the other house. That's not possible. He will enjoy a longer term, of course, because he's an MP of the Rajya Sabha. So, MP of Rajya Sabha has a term of 6 years. So, that's very, very natural. 2 is correct. He will not be able to speak in the Lok Sabha. He can speak in the Lok Sabha, right? Article 88 allows the person to speak in the Lok Sabha. So 3 is wrong. How many are correct? Only 1 is correct. Moving on to the fourth question for today. Or using a privilege motion or introduction of a private member's bill. Both these powers are available to both the houses. It is not that this is something unique to the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. So these are also wrong. So none of the above mentioned here is a special power of Rajya Sabha which is not available to the Lok Sabha. Okay. Harshit and Khushi, absolutely correct. But he will enjoy a longer term than the MPs of Lok Sabha, right? Not as a prime minister, as an MP, he enjoys a longer tenure. When you are comparing the term with reference to the MPs, it's a basic understanding and comprehension that we are referring to the term or tenure of the person as a member of the parliament, right? So that is the right statement. Moving on to the last question. Change, right? So 3 is wrong. It's for MPs of Rajya Sabha, not the MPs of Lok Sabha. So 1, 2, and 4 are correct. Only 3 statements are correctly matched. Okay, everyone, no concerns, no queries. I hope you are satisfied with your performance today. It was a long weekend, so you'd have revised everything thoroughly. Let's show the leaderboard. All 5 correct. Great. Then we have Shama, Nikhil, Raja, Rajni. For today, your name will be there. Is given. Only limit of you will definitely be there. Sit for today. Yes. Me Asha concerned. We saw the disqualification in the previous class. Now we look at some exceptions. Exceptions in the sense that there are some people who, despite leaving their party, will not be disqualified. Interesting, right? I mean, if you leave your party, disqualified. But there are some people who will leave their party and yet will not be disqualified. So, what is that provision? Number one exception is of the presiding and the deputy presiding officers. In fact, that is one thing that we saw under the chapter or under the topic presiding officers. We want our speakers to leave the party so as to ensure independence. That is why it has been included as an exception here that presiding officers and deputy presiding officers may leave party and will not be disqualified. So we have already given a provision like this for them, creating an exception for them that leave your party, no problem. You will still be allowed to continue as a speaker and member of parliament. But even despite this, we don't see speakers leave their party. Now, if the speaker leaves his or her party, it does not mean that they can join the party back. Till they are speakers, they cannot join the party back, and they cannot join some other party. Those things are not allowed. The idea was to ensure independence, free from party's control, and that is why this exception was created for the presiding officers. Now, the other exception is with respect to a large group of people leaving the party. See, if one person leaves the party, disqualified, right? But what if a large group of people leave the party? Then what happens? Now, in that situation, if a large group of people leaves the party, originally, when the law was made, there was a concept of split. Splits were allowed. Meaning, let us say Congress. Let's assume and take the example of Congress in the Lok Sabha. Now, let's say Congress has 50 MPs in the Lok Sabha. If one third legislators split, they will not be disqualified. Are we clear on this? If one third of the members leave the party, they would not be disqualified. So if let's say 18 MPs from Congress left the party, it was okay. They could create a new party and still all of them would continue to be the member of the House. But then this provision was modified. This provision was modified and replaced with this provision. Amended via 91st Amendment Act 2003. With this Amendment Act, what was done was that this split is now no longer allowed. What is allowed now? Merger is allowed. Meaning, if 18 people want to leave the party Congress, they will have to leave Congress and join some other party, merge with some other party. They cannot create their new party. Clear? Second, this one third was also increased to now two third, meaning not 18 anymore, but now let's say 35 or 36 people or 34 people need to leave Congress collectively and merge with some other party. Now, when they merge with, say, some other party, say BJP, you can give them a new name. That's okay. But you cannot exist on your own. So, splits no longer allowed. You can leave your party as a collective group, at least two-thirds, but you have to join some other party. You cannot exist independently. And that also was now not one third, but two-thirds. This is the current situation. See, a member of a house shall not be disqualified where his or her original political party merges. And when I use the word merger, I am referring to how many people? I am referring to at least one third people. So, if one third people merge with another political party and either he or she has become member of such other political party or of a new political party formed by such merger. So these 35 people, they have left Congress and have joined BJP. So either now they are a part of BJP, or these people have joined BJP and now BJP is given a new name, BJP Congress Mixed Party. Possible. That's also okay. And also, those remaining people, 35 left Congress, 15 remain who say no, Congress is my life and soul. What happens to them? They have not accepted the merger and opted to function as a separate group. Meaning, these people will also not be disqualified. Of course, they have not left the party. So, why will they be disqualified? The remaining people are also not disqualified. So, if you leave your party, it's allowed, but retail defection, not allowed. Wholesale defection, that's good. That is allowed. Are we clear now? So now, my bad. Now it should be 2/3, not 1/3. So at least 2/3 people will have to leave the party, not 1/3. Small error. Are we clear? So you cannot purchase one MP now. You have to purchase a group of MPs. Sorry. You cannot convince one MP to join your party. You have to convince a large group of MPs to join your party. Are you clear? No, slip of tongue. So that's it with respect to the exceptions. I hope the points are clear. Let's now move on. The remaining 15 people, they who are a part of Congress, why will they be disqualified? What's there to explain? There is nothing to explain. The remaining people are going to be a part of Congress and they will exist. Simple. As they used to. Okay. That's there. Now, this is the exception. And coming to the most important part of anti-defection law is the deciding authority. Who decides after all? That's the big thing. Who decides? So when it comes to anti-defection law, the decisions are taken by the presiding officer. And as per the law, originally, the decision of presiding officer was final. Presiding officer decision is final. Now think of a simple case. Let us say Mr. Rahul Gandhi leaves Congress and joins BJP. BJP is very happy or sad, we don't know, right? But since Rahul Gandhi has now joined BJP, one more vote in favor of BJP now. I'm just giving an example. Don't ask me, sir, when did this happen? How did he join? Example. Now, Congress MPs are very upset and they go and complain to Om Birla, the Speaker of Lok Sabha, that Rahul Gandhi has left my party. You please disqualify him. Om Birla says, Rahul Gandhi is not disqualified. My decision is final. Om Birla can become biased in favor of BJP and can simply say, I have made my decision and it's final. So this was a problem. Also, when this particular change was made, it was modifying the power of the Supreme Court and High Courts to check the decision of the presiding officer. And the Supreme Court said that this is not possible. If you want to reduce my power, the Supreme Court and High Court's power, it is important that you also get the approval of half of the states. Remember, the federal structure needs to be modified, and if that is to be modified, half the states need to ratify that proposal. So based on that, and also based on this very simple logic that the speaker can be biased, in the Kyoto Holohan case 1992, Supreme Court said that the decision of presiding officer, for those who may be confused, I am mentioning it there, it is now going to be subject to judicial review. Okay, it will now be subject to judicial review. Clear? This means that post the Kyoto Holohan judgment, the decisions are not final, and they are now subject to judicial review. Clear? So that's there. This means that now Om Birla's hands are tied. He cannot give a wrong decision. If he says Rahul Gandhi not disqualified, then the Congress can approach the High Court or Supreme Court and tell the Supreme Court, High Court that, sir, my lords, see what is happening, wrong decision. And then the High Court or Supreme Court can cancel the speaker's decision. Simple. But there's one more point. One more point in this case. And that point is, now think of Om Birla. Om Birla knows very well that the moment I give my decision in favor of BJP, supporting my party, not disqualifying Rahul Gandhi, all these Congress people will go to Supreme Court. They will hire a lawyer and file a case in Supreme Court, right? When they go to Supreme Court will cancel my decision. So how do I help my party? How do I be biased? How do I be biased? Very, very simple. There is a big loophole in this anti-defection law. And what's the loophole? The loophole is that there is no time frame to decide. No time frame fixed for presiding officers to decide. Presiding officer PO. I hope there is nobody who's under still this dilemma, what the hell is PO, because it's mentioned here and you are attending the class and not watching the cricket match, right? Side by side. Okay. So this means what? This means that the speaker will not decide only. If you don't take a decision only, then what will be challenged in court? It is just like you have filled up the UPSC form, but in your mock tests before the exam, you are getting a score of -2, 5, 9 out of 200. So what do? You don't take the exam only. You skip it next year. And when you skip the exam, you can't fail. No exam, no failure. Best life. So a guaranteed non-failure tip for everybody is that don't take the exam only, you will never fail. Don't do anything in life and you will never fail in life. Are we clear? So please don't follow this. Okay? Please study and prepare. So this is a problem with the anti-defection law, that it has been left for the speaker to decide. Now, one important point I'd like to make here is this. See, in the state of Manipur, which is now in the news for all the wrong reasons, back in 2017, Manipur had the speaker called Y. Khemchand. Now, lot of people Megha, if we do not fail, how will we learn? Megha, it was just a sarcastic remark. I'm surprised that I have to explain sarcasm. I can't go below this level. I'm extremely sorry. It pains here to explain sarcasm. Anyway, this is life. What to do? So, in Manipur, this speaker. Now, you'll be surprised to know that lot of people left their party and joined BJP. How many people were disqualified by Vai Khimchand? Zero. So all those people who left other parties and joined BJP because Vai Khimchand was from BJP, he would not disqualify them. It's okay. He would not take a decision only. But any MLA from Congress or TMC, if they did something, or if a BJP MLA did something trying to cross the site, disqualify. What the hell is this? This biased kind of decision that when somebody is trying to leave their party and join BJP, you're not deciding only. Telling people, I am thinking, I'm just investigating what has happened. But when somebody leaves BJP and joins some other party, disqualified. Immediate decisions. Right? So, the point here was, in fact, you'll be surprised to know that there was this person called T. Shyam Kumar. T. Shyam Kumar, he not only left his party and joined BJP, he was not disqualified, firstly. He was also made a minister in the government. If this is the case, that you simply can leave your party, join the ruling party, and the speaker of the ruling party, because speaker belongs to ruling party, that's a convention, and the speaker does not take a decision only, and then the ruling party also makes you a minister, then what the hell is this anti-defection law all about? It's an utter waste of exercise, right? Completely in favor of ruling party. So finally, Supreme Court interfered. This matter went to Supreme Court in the Kesham Meghchandra Singh case, 2020, 2020. Supreme Court came down heavily on the speaker's behavior, and the speaker was told that what is this? Firstly, Supreme Court cancelled T. Shyam Kumar's appointment as a minister. Now, a minister can be appointed or removed only by governor in the state and the president at the center. But a very unique step was taken by Supreme Court, that Supreme Court issued orders to remove the speaker, remove the minister from there. And not just this, Supreme Court also disqualified the person on his own, which is not allowed because the power belongs to either the presiding officer or the governor and president on the advice of Election Commission. But because the speaker was not deciding, Supreme Court said, I have to ensure complete justice, and took a step. And not just this, Supreme Court said that courts can fix time limit. Court has a power to fix a time limit also. And what's this time limit? So Supreme Court said that please, from this date onwards, all members who are presiding officers decide within 3 months. But Supreme Court also said that, see, I understand, Speaker, that you are a busy person. You may have other things to do in life. So don't worry. This 3-month time can be exceeded also. In the absence of any exceptional reason. So if there is some exceptional situation that you are too busy, we understand, But otherwise, please decide within how many months? 3 months. Now you know what this means. It means I tell you that guys, please revise tomorrow, study for at least 6 hours. But if there is some exceptional situation in your house, then you can skip the studies also. And you know very well that for everybody, there will be some exceptional situation. If you ask people this kind of thing, then of course, right? So, are we clear on this? This judgment did come, but it's not a very strong kind of judgment. You don't give all this room to our politicians to misbehave. When this clause that if there is nothing exceptional, then decide in 3 months. And we have found that everybody is exceeding the 3 months time. Why? Because exceptional situation, too busy, some kind of nonsense, right? Madam, what to decide within 3 months? Madam, what are we discussing right now? Anti-defection law. What are we discussing right now? The presiding officer's power to decide on disqualification. After 5 minutes, you will say, what is defection? Okay. So Keshav Meghchand Singh case did try to clarify things, but sadly, it has not had any lasting impact. Nothing. Okay. Because just after this matter came a case in West Bengal. In the case of West Bengal, you'll be surprised. Biman Banerjee, the speaker, he has not disqualified a single MLA who came to TMC. 25-30 MLAs over the last 10 years have shifted to TMC. How many disqualified? Zero. Not a single person was ever disqualified. In fact, there's a case of Mukul Roy, who had joined BJP, later on started coming to TMC meetings, officially started attending TMC meetings. Yet, no decision was taken by Biman Banerjee. Only last year he took decision and said not disqualified. Anyway, so these are situations where the speaker still is creating havoc by misusing his provision and not doing anything. Are we clear? State high courts can interfere in the apex. That's also possible. That's also possible. Okay. Arey Chetan, relax. Maharashtra government. You have not come here to study. You have come here to know about the Maharashtra government only. Relax. Calm down. We'll discuss that. Now comes the case where some of the enthusiastic people who want to impress random people here and there want to know what happened in the case of Maharashtra. So, firstly, a brief on what exactly was the case with respect to Maharashtra. So, as far as Maharashtra is concerned, it has 288 MLAs in total. This means Maharashtra has a 288 MLA assembly. So, just to ask you, what is the majority required to form the government here in Maharashtra? More than half, which would be 145 people, because half is 144, more than half is required, 145. So originally what had happened was that BJP and Shiv Sena said that we are together, hum saath saath, two bodies, one soul, that kind of situation, right? And they contested elections together. BJP won 105 seats. Shiv Sena originally won 56 seats. Number of seats are not important. There may be some error also, one or two here. So don't worry. Just an example. And the other parties like NCP, Indian National Congress, they also won some seats. Like NCP won 54 seats, Congress won 44 seats. These are the seats won. Please pay attention. I will not explain this example again. You'll have to see the recording. Okay? Because this example will not be asked in the examination. So I'm just explaining this because some of you are enthusiastic to know what is happening. That's it. One time explanation. Rest recording. Now, ideally, what should have happened was that this coalition should have formed the government. But because of their internal politics and which party wants to have their own chief minister, my CM, all this power sharing drama took place, and the coalition broke. Emotional moment. Break up has happened. Okay. So once this happened, then a new coalition was formed. Maha Vikas Agadi, MVA. Maha Vikas Agadi, AGADI. This coalition was actually these three people or these three groups. They came together and said, we will form the government. So Shiv Sena broke or parted ways with BJP and joined NCP and Congress, against whom it was contesting elections, right? And then formed this coalition. Now this coalition was running very nicely. All things were okay, no problem whatsoever, all things running smooth. But then, so this was November 2019. In June last year, June 2022, the fun started. Eknath Shinde plus some MLAs, he's also an MLA, they went missing. It was found that they had gone to Gujarat first, then Assam first, second. So you can search on Google and type and find out which hotels they stayed. They kept on moving, they kept on staying in different hotels. So the idea was that they had somehow shown some kind of resentment with this coalition of Mahavikas Agadi. They did not appreciate this coalition. Now, Uddhav Thackeray group, Uddhav Thackeray, the chief minister, he issued disqualification notice saying that these people have left the party. Speaker, disqualify. At that point of time, there was no speaker in the house. So deputy speaker was acting as a speaker. Now, Eknath Shinde group, what they did was, they gave a notice to remove the deputy speaker only. And there is actually a judgment in the country given by Supreme Court, and that judgment says that whenever a removal proceeding is going on for the speaker has no power to decide on anything. The Nabam Rebia judgment of 2016. So as per this judgment, whenever you raise any notice to remove the speaker, immediately speaker's powers go away. So now the deputy speaker is the speaker in this case. Now deputy speaker had to disqualify them. But since they gave a notice for his removal, now he cannot disqualify them because his powers are gone. Right? This was the case. Now, in the meantime, it was found that Eknath Shinde and the MLA said that, see, they went to governor and they said that we are not a part of this Mahavikas Agadi, we are withdrawing our support. Governor said, who is withdrawing support? You alone. He said, no, my party Shiv Sena is withdrawing support. Understand the point? Eknath Shinde now claims that I am Shiv Sena. So now the matter starts. Who is the real Shiv Sena? And who controls Shiv Sena? Is it Uddhav Thackeray or Eknath Shinde? Because the problem was, if Eknath Shinde left Shiv Sena, that would mean a split. That would mean a split. Split is not allowed. This means that Eknath Shinde would have to join BJP officially, which he did not want to join. So he started claiming that I am the real Shiv Sena, not Uddhav Thackeray's team. We are the real bosses. Look at us. We have 40 MLAs. They only have 15, 16 MLAs. We control Shiv Sena. And governor said, okay, very good. So governor said that, okay, please, Uddhav Thackeray, prove your majority. Floor test. Floor test was called for by the governor. That Uddhav Thackeray, there is some doubt here. You please just again get the voting in the house, confidence motion, and prove your majority. Uddhav Thackeray went to the Supreme Court. How can this be done by governor asking us randomly to prove our majority? We won't do it. This is wrong. Supreme Court said, please, sir, you go, please. And the Uddhav Thackeray's petition was rejected. Uddhav Thackeray became very angry and said, I am resigning. Nonsense. And he resigned. The matter went to Supreme Court. Right? Now, in the meantime, Election Commission is the rightful authority to decide on splits and mergers of parties. So, Election Commission said that Eknath Shinde controls the legislative party and hence he has the control of the real Shiv Sena. Are we clear? Legislative party. Whoever controls legislative party controls Shiv Sena. They are the real Shiv Sena. End of story. But then Supreme Court judgment was there. So Supreme Court gave a judgment. Now Supreme Court said that, see, who is the real Shiv Sena? Speaker, you decide. We won't decide. But who decides voting? Because the real concern is if tomorrow a trust vote is launched, then what happens? All the people of Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde, his MLAs, Uddhav Thackeray, his MLAs, they all have to vote. But who will issue the whip? Who controls whip? Today, in the Congress, who controls whip? Who is the boss of Congress? Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, etc. In the BJP, who controls the whip? Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, etc. But here the point is, there is a division. Uddhav Thackeray controls the political party Shiv Sena, all the lakhs and crores of people who are members of Shiv Sena. But Eknath Shinde controls the legislative party. I hope you remember what is a legislative party. Legislative party is those people from the party who are members of the legislature. Remember this? Legislative party, political party. I had drawn a diagram also to explain that point. I hope you have revised and you remember this. It is here that Supreme Court said that what is this legislative party? Nonsense. Who is Eknath Shinde? After all, the entire political party comprises of lakhs of people. Those lakhs of people, they have chosen Uddhav Thackeray as their leader. Just because handful of these people have become MLAs, they can't control the party. Supreme Court says that Uddhav Thackeray has the right to issue whips. So basically, it is the person who controls the political party who will decide on who will issue or what is the whip, where should the people vote for. Now, one more thing. Suomo, I knew this would be asked by some of you only. You please refer to the video in the previous class and see the diagram drawn. What is the difference between legislative party and the political party? Please see that. So, what happened here? And one more point. Now, Supreme Court said that, Governor, just because some random MLAs came to you, How did you call for a flow test? How? How did you call for a flow test? Tell me. So the problem here was Supreme Court said that Governor, I don't see any reason why you call for a flow test. It's wrong. And Supreme Court said that Uddhav Thackeray, if you had not resigned, we could have also brought you back to power. Because Governor, if he had removed you, that was wrong. But sadly, Uddhav Thackeray was not removed. Uddhav Thackeray resigned from his post. So Governor said that what? Please go for a flow test. Uddhav Thackeray, had he gone for flow test and had he lost the flow test, Supreme Court said if that had happened, we could have reversed the order only. We could have brought you back because flow test was wrong. How can a random MLA go to a governor and say, I don't think there is confidence here. You please ask for flow test. This can't be done. Did the entire Shiv Sena go to governor? Did the boss of Shiv Sena go to governor and then ask the governor? No. So this was a concern. But sadly, Uddhav Thackeray had resigned, and that is why Supreme Court said, see, you have resigned. We can't bring you back to power. Anyway, that's the judgment. The matter is left for the speaker now. The speaker will decide on who is the real Shiv Sena, and once the speaker decides, then we'll see what happens. So you know very well, there is no time frame for speakers to decide. Are we clear? Everybody? Okay. Divya says if 40 out of 55 MLAs were coming out of the party, they must not be subject to disqualification. Why? Tell me, guys. 40 people, Eknath Shinde's group had 40 people out of 55. Way more than 2/3. They have come out. Still, they can be disqualified. Why? Why can they be disqualified? Because what is to be done? Merger has to be done. Are we clear on this? When you leave your party, it's called a split in the party. But when you leave your party and join some other party, that's called a merger. So no problem if Eknath Shinde had left and joined BJP. But he left and started claiming that I am the real boss. That is why now the new culture has come up that people will leave their party and claim I am the real party. Are we clear? Because you can't leave your party. Okay, so that's there with respect to the issue of Shiv Sena. Yes, Nikhil. Similar issue in the NCP also. Now that's the problem. See, eventually it all boils down to the elections. What is the issue on Ram Temple? Sir, SK, what is this, sir? Ignore that, sir. Sir, exam. Focus on UPSC exam, sir. Exam is what is important, sir. Okay, so that is all as far as the Maharashtra issue was concerned, right? You can quote this as an example in an answer if a question is asked. Otherwise, I don't see any reason why a specific question on explain the political situation of Maharashtra will be asked, right? It is just for fun, not for the examination. In the interview, they may ask you, you should know what exactly has happened, roughly. Simple. So, in case you want to, again, you can go back, see the recording, take down note of all the dates, and in case you want, do further research on it. Dheeraj for MPSC. I don't know MPSC, sir. Maharashtra PCS syllabus, I don't know. I don't see the questions they have asked, so I have no idea on what is the state PCS syllabus. That's for those people who have crossed the age of 30-32, have nothing left now, prepare for SPSC. Just to tell you, if you clear the SPSC examination, state PCS exam, you become a DSP, it takes around 15 to 18 years. 15 to 18 years to become IPS. So it's better clear UPSC only. Now coming to the issues. What are the issues pertaining to anti-defection law? This is also a classic example. So others won't understand. People from the state of Bihar would be able to appreciate. Don't say who is he. Come on, this is too much. It's Mr. Nitish Kumar, the Chief Minister of Bihar. So Mr. Nitish Kumar is actually extremely talented as a person, right? He just wants to be the Chief Minister. Such a nice person. So he does not really worry. What is ideology? What are all these things? Can you support me? I am with you. Remember that small kid who said that you are my friend, tum bhi mere dost ho. Everybody is their friend. That's the same thing. Anyway, no personal attack on any person. It's their choice, simply. Maybe he has an ideology. Yes, पीछे तो देखो kid. Exactly. Anyway, coming back to our question now. What are the issues with respect to the anti-defection law? Firstly, tell me this. Now, issues are very simple. One such issue is there is no time frame, even now, for the speaker to decide. Issue number one. No time frame for speaker to decide. No time frame whatsoever. This means what? Biasness. So how do we solve this problem? What can be a solution? Very, very simple solution. Amend the law, fix a time frame. Modify the law, fix a time frame. Second, now let's just go back a bit to the case of Maharashtra only. Can you see this coalition? Before the election, Maharashtra government, or BJP and Shiv Sena, they had joined hands together and they were campaigning together, saying that vote for us, we are together only against Congress. Now, when you go and seek votes from people, giving them this false image that you are together against that person, and suddenly after winning the election, you join that person, are you not breaching the trust of the people? The problem with the anti-defection law is that anti-defection law does not cover coalition governments. It only covers political party, right? So anti-defection law means BJP can issue orders to its own MPs, MLAs. Even if there's some other party which has combined with BJP, BJP cannot issue whip to those parties. That's a problem. Because here also, so many people voted for BJP thinking that they are voting for Shiv Sena also. So many people voted for Shiv Sena thinking they are voting for BJP also. So many people voted for these people thinking that Shiv Sena is against Congress. And then you leave BJP and join Congress. That's also as good as breaching the trust of the voter. So, ADL. What is ADL? Anti-defection law. Let me write this only, rather than telling this 5 times later on. That's how much afraid I have become of some of you and your questions. Anti-defection law does not cover pre-election coalition. Before the election, if there is a coalition, that is not covered. Here also, same solution. Very, very simple solution. And what is that? Amend the law to not right cover it. Include it. Then one more point. Number 3. I mean, think of this. Why have we in the first place given this power to the speaker? We are already struggling with this very big issue of the speaker's independence. And then suddenly we are giving this power to speaker. I mean, why? Is a rightful question. Why this faith and belief on the speaker suddenly? Are we not constantly struggling across the country with respect to speaker's biased role in discussions, allowing questions, etc.? Why to give this power to speaker? When the election commission is deemed to be a very good authority to decide on all other kind of disqualification, then let them only decide here also. Power of disqualification with presiding officer. What's the solution here? We have to amend the law and let an independent body decide. Take the power away and let an independent body decide. Example, ECI. Okay, that's how you write your suggestions also. Don't write suggestions like orders that let ECI should decide. No, any independent body can decide. For example, ECI. A suggestion should look like a suggestion. So these issues can actually be solved. Now, don't ask me why they are not solving it. Because political parties, are you expecting them to curtail their own powers? Right? Are you expecting those amazing politicians to limit their own powers? So what we're expecting is, of course, something utopian. That may not be possible. But at least our hopes and expectations are that this, if it is done, it will be better. But there is one such issue which is beyond any solution. And that issue is that of the whip. See, the problem with whip is that, let's take an example here. The issue of whip. We call that whip gagging. What is gagging? Gag, G-A-G, gag, means to cover somebody's mouth, to prevent somebody from speaking. That's called gagging. So what happens is, let's say there's a bill to rename India to Bharat. Just an example. I don't want to start any controversy. Just a relatable example. Now, let us say you belong to BJP. You are a BJP MP. But people of your constituency come to you and say, sir, please vote against this bill. We don't want this name change. Vote against this bill. But say BJP has issued a whip that we are going to bring a bill, you have to vote yes. As a BJP MP, now what do? If you vote in favor of the bill, you are actually trying to violate the trust that people have reposed on you. You are not faithful in representing the interest of your voter. But if you vote no, that's even bad, because then the party can disqualify you. What's the point? You spend so much money to win the election. Sorry, you spend so much of effort convincing people to vote for you, right? So then what's the point? Anyway, this is a concern. So the point is that ADL suppresses genuine dissent also. See, I'm not saying that you should be against your party, but sometimes you may be against your party. Maybe against your party. There's a possibility. After all, you are a free thinking individual, right? So it may not always be possible for you to toe the line with every party order or every party ideology or step. You can be independent also in decision making. But ADL suppresses those people also who raise genuine concerns, right? Then legislators are not allowed to use their conscience. And think of it, what's the interest of an MP MLA now to learn about the bill? You know very well that my boss has said, oh, whip order has come. It says on 17th, go to the house, press the green button. Okay, like a robot, I'll go to the house. Oh, 17th, okay, where's the green button? Pressed. Done. Voting done. What's the bill? What's the purpose? What's the logic? I don't care. Why should I care? Not required only. And also, legislators unable to faithfully represent the voter or the interest of the constituency, the interest of voter. Now the problem with this is, let's see, in the Kyoto Holohan case, Supreme Court had also said that whip, a three-line whip, should be used only in case of NCM, trust vote, or a bill which relates to party's election manifesto. What is election manifesto? Poll promise. So Supreme Court has said that in case of NCM, in case of trust vote, because now you have to have the government, the survival of the government is important. So there, it's okay. Otherwise, use whip only in those cases. Let's say there is something that you promised in your poll. That's your party's idea only. That's your party's basic promise. Then every member of a party should follow it. But don't issue whip in small matters. So the only solution here can be some kind of guideline or some kind of moral obligation that parties should minimize the use of whip. I mean, if you can call this a solution,